Seahawks just made a huge decision on their latest signing. We've got to break it down, plus all the other headlines as the Seahawks finally get ready to put BTA against those Dallas Cowboys in the first preseason game. What's happening, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that has no idea why I said Seahawks like that. Just trying to make words seem more exciting because I'm pumped about this episode, but I've also got questions, so I want to hear from you guys. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all those other things, because Terrion Arnold is apparently now a Seahawk, and there is a lot to break down in response to this. I think in the modern NFL, it has kind of low-key become a foregone conclusion that there are going to be guys who you have to separate art from artist, and there are a myriad of different versions of legal trouble. And yeah, Terrion Arnold currently has 8 felony counts in connections to robbery and kidnapping out on him, but that he is also somebody who is young and in his prime, and young players in their primes tend not to get cut from teams in a way that then allows other teams to sign them for cheap contracts. And so I am I struggle with I don't want to draw a line where it's like, I don't want a wife beater, but I will do somebody that has aggravated or assault, or I do want DUIs, but I don't want murderer. Kind of feels uncomfortable to embrace any of this, but at the same time, football being a zero-sum sport where it's kind of like, I want my boys to win. Terrion Arnold is an interesting grab because he's good. He's a good cornerback. He will be starting on the commissioner's exempt list, so I am unsure about even how much of him we're going to see. I'm assuming if the Seahawks are going down this path that they have at least game planned for some different versions of when they see him, but that they must have some sort of confidence that he will be a Seahawk at some point this season. Kind of interesting, actually, that it came out that he is friends with Jalen Milroe, who came in and really, sounds like, vouched for him and said that he fits well within their culture. I swear I get uncomfortable with trying to decipher exactly what this signing does for us and means for us. But it seems that the quote here in this article was that this was from somebody inside the organization, that the vouching from Jalen Milroe plus the pre-draft eval plus the current just issues with the cornerback depth and a minimum deal made this tolerable. That might be the most LOL NFL sentence that has ever been written. But yeah, if this guy, obviously, if he goes to jail and never plays and it was a minimum deal, I don't think it's that big of a true loss for the Seahawks. But if it's somebody that is going to get cleared of this and able to participate in the season, it's a great pickup. It's crazy for me, though, to try and break this down while the charges are pending. We did the Stephon Diggs video over the offseason of are we ready to sign Stephon Diggs despite him being a little bit out there? And a lot of you guys were like, no, we don't want the distractions. But I think also at the same time, it was like, no, Stephon Diggs is at a position we don't need. We need a cornerback. We need cornerback depth. So, big, bold swing. Very curious, like I said, to know what you guys all think. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about the preseason opener. This article I saw of what to watch for, because there's NFL insiders out there that always seem to know infinitely more than me. I think it's kind of interesting. I am not seeing a ton of plot lines right now coming out in the defensive side. It seems to almost exclusively be on the offensive side where all the questions are. we already talked about Jalen Milroe in this game. This article brought up that the big question on the offense starts with the quarterbacks and who is going to be taking the second quarterback position. Is that Drew Lock or Jalen Milroe? I like Milroe a little bit better, just given that I think he has just a little bit more room for creativity and explosiveness. And Drew Lock is much more the proven commodity, so maybe he is the better backup quarterback in the sense that you usually like somebody to just be steady Eddie that can come in and like, hey, Sam Darnold's out for one play, one drive, 1 week, 1 month, whatever it is. Just don't be too big of a drop-off from that and just help the offense move forward. I get that Drew Lock very squarely and comfortably fits within that description, but I feel like Milroe, there are, like I said, upsides to his style and explosiveness and capability of play, but there's also just some talk, at least I've seen some talk with Brian Fleury's offense being an unknown, new sort of like we're all going to feel this out, that there is some room for some different looks for some different players. And one or two of those ideas that I saw floated around this offseason was giving Jalen Milroe maybe some RPOs or just other things that work him into the offense given the style of play that he represents. And so I will be very curious. I don't think there's really like a quarterback competition, but I will be curious to see if it's both of those guys dropping back to run the same sets. And if it's Drew Lock and Jalen Milroe both doing the same 3 and 5 step drops, check down, look over, throw this, and just going through the motions, or if these two guys are put into somewhat different looks and feels to try and really be like, hey, how can we get the most out of either of them? Just a thought, just curious. The going down further in this article, the offensive line is the other thing that it talks about, and I can agree with that. I think that okay, I know I'm giving you dead air and kind of breathing there, but I think that of all the groups that are going to be cycling through positions, and my 2-year-old agrees with this one, that the offensive line, despite all regular season being somewhat of an invisible, like the ball is looking elsewhere, the offensive line in the preseason is very quickly exposed. Even when you're going against defensive 2s and 3s, if you got a hole in your O-line, you're going to see it very quickly. Even if it's not guys who are going to be defending, protecting Sam Darnold regularly snaps, all season long, it's still important to A, have your first 5, but then B, have like one guy on each side to be that backup. Because even if it's not like an injury, there are times where you just get like stingers, you get a little, get your bell rung, whatever, et cetera, that you just need somebody to plug and play on one of those line positions. And I'm in on watching that. That seems incredibly like micro to be like, oh, football's back. Let's watch the backup right guard battle. But it's where we're at right now. Seahawks kind of have a lot of established pieces on the skill set positions of the tight ends, running backs, wide receiver. Like, it's all kind of set. The running back one will also be interesting, I think, less because of who's going to be like competing for the starting job and more of this, like what I was saying with Lock and Milroe, of just who's going to be put in what position to succeed in what style. That's what I got for you. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon.